3 videos in one day. You gotta wonder why I'm wearing the same shirt. I'm just trying the yellow shirt to see if it blends in with the green screen. Who cares? Do you want an intrusive anti-cheat in your favorite shooter game? This is my reasoning why you wouldn't want it. I'm gonna make an argument against intrusive anti-cheats because I feel like games that have it end up having major issues with it. And I think that it's in your best interest to not have your favorite game get an intrusive anti-cheat. Because if it does, we're gonna experience a lot more issues down the line that we don't want to deal with. The first one is Linux gamers. Linux has become a more viable operating system to play games. For example, Steam Deck has Linux natively built in. Windows on the Steam Deck has been reported to be much worse. I feel like a major part of making the PC market more legitimate is to get tools like the Steam Deck available for everyone to use on online games. Overwatch allows it, and that it's been able to help me play with my siblings who have the Steam Deck but don't have a laptop, a desktop viable enough to play Overwatch 2. And that's something Fortnite can't do. But I think another reason is looking at Riot's Vanguard. Riot's Vanguard has multiple issues I really don't like. When it launched, there were discussions that turning it off without resetting your computer would turn off your desktop's fan. But my least favorite thing is the idea that if I don't want it on my computer, I have to restart my computer to launch Valorant, play through Valorant for like an hour or two before realizing it has technical issues that allow me to just not play the game properly. For example, I load into the matches late, and the only assistance I can get is from a support team that for some reason doesn't understand my issue. Every other game I play doesn't load in late, except for Rainbow Six after restart occasionally, but that's a Rainbow Six issue at that point. But like Overwatch, I don't load in late. Fortnite takes a bit to load. Okay, cool. But like for the most part, there's not an issue in other games. Issues I have in Valorant aren't an issue in other games. I don't know why. So you're telling me that after my hour of being frustrated playing Valorant, I then have to restart my desktop again to make sure Vanguard didn't tease my internals and turn something off. You have to restart your computer 2 times every single time you want to play Valorant, turn off the anti-cheat, and make sure your computer doesn't have an issue. That's not even the part I don't like about it. What I don't like about it is the fact that it's taking screenshots of your screen. I feel like there's this Twitter user that I actually highly respect that keeps on doing I feel like strawman argument against people that don't want it taking screenshots of their screen. They act like everyone who doesn't want this is doing some like deviant stuff, basically. On my desktop, I literally just play games, I do work, I scroll Twitter, right? So, like, and even if I was doing deviant stuff, I don't care, the Valorant employee can watch with me. The problem is, it's not that I don't want them watching with me, it's that I do private stuff on my desktop, like put in my credit card information, or like, anything else. And so the second Riot gets hacked, the second they get hacked, we have to trust that all that information is safe with them. I'm not buying it. Like, for example, one community that really wants an intrusive anti-cheat is Rainbow Six Siege. And I have my arguments for it, but my big argument against it is, do we trust Ubisoft, of all creators, to make a proper intrusive anti-cheat that when they get hacked doesn't leak all of our data? You might also be saying, well, what if, for example, I, don't use my credit card with Ubisoft? Well, if they get hacked, all it's going to be is just, maybe they'll see my screen. And even if you get hacked anyway, they're going to see your credit card information if you type it in no matter what, because you're just going to find it on the back end. Well, my argument against that is that, what if I don't use a credit card for Ubisoft, but I use a credit card for something else? Like, let's say I'm buying, like, a Game Jolt game, if I'm that deranged. Well, now they know that freaking credit card. Now it's not just me that compromised, it's any other credit card, gift card, bank card, whatever, that I end up putting in. Any information I put in, my social security can be hacked. It's more than just my credit card. I can put my social security number on a site, and now they know my social security card number. And that's just bad actors from outside of these companies. What if there's a bad actor within one of these companies that wants to know this information, that wants to steal this from me? Like, that can be even worse, and they will get away with it. Like, who am I gonna say? Oh, someone took my social security card number. Who could it be? And those are just my concerns about it. I feel like it kind of works for Valorant, but I do have my issue with it, and I feel like there's ways that we can, make it better for these games. For example, what if it only turned on while the game was turned on? I don't know why Valorant doesn't do this. It needs to launch on startup for some reason. Make it that it can lay dormant enough where I can just turn it on and off whenever, but it just needs a couple of blocks of memory to just look at my internals at the beginning. Like, at that point, it's barely an anti-cheat. It's just looking at my stuff and being like, you're good. Yeah? I think that having an intrusive anti-cheat just ends up being really dumb. Especially when these games could be easily fixed with a couple other things. You could easily make Rainbow Six Siege a 10 times better place by just having one guy scroll Twitter and ban all the obvious cheaters. That's just one thing you could do. You could have Overwatch be a better place by having someone scroll Twitter and just ban all obvious cheaters. People are at the point where they're not even sure if Rainbow Six's report button even does anything anymore, because none of these guys are getting banned after weeks of playing. The main issue is that you need more manual moderators. An anti-cheat's not going to do anything if you're still playing cat and mouse with the cheats. You can hardly do anything with those cheats at that point. What you need to be doing is you need to be fighting it from the community level. You need the community to be like, I'm seeing less cheaters, and when I do, I can report it directly to them, and they will take action effectively. I feel like even if you just banned all the obvious spin botters, the game would be 10 times better. I guess the moral of the story is that I feel like with so much power given to a company, we have to make sure they have the responsibility to use that power. And for example, Ubisoft is not a company I feel like is responsible enough for that power, and they should just be giving us manual moderation instead. I don't care if they have to hire 1,000 employees. They are making enough money from Rainbow Six that they could probably hire enough people for them to ban cheaters. It just feels negligent. Like they don't really care to ban all the cheaters for some reason. Like, I understand. Like, it would actually make them more money. They just buy new accounts. And if they run out of accounts to third-party buy, they'll just buy your game again. So that's where I'm at. I feel like intrusive anti-cheats are dumb in concept because you need to give so much trust to a company that it's crazy. If they are to be implemented, I would like them to be implemented in a way where I launch the game, I get the intrusive anti-cheat, okay, cool, right? Or maybe even just only turns on during matches. I feel like I've rambled on about this enough. I feel like there's good arguments for a intrusive anti-cheat. Like, people are sick of playing with cheaters. But I feel like arguments for it can sometimes grade the line of unreasonable once we get to the point where we're genuinely strawmanning people who don't want the information leaked if there were to be a hack at the company. I am genuinely concerned that if they add an intrusive anti-cheat, and, like, I'm not playing the game, but I'm, like, browsing the internet, and maybe I'm applying for jobs, I have to put in my social, I have to put in my address, I have to, like, that gets leaked because the company gets hacked? Like, no! That's awful! I don't want that to happen. Thank you for watching. I hope that discourse around this gets better.